Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here for a bit of a live reaction. Now F1 2019 have just started premiering a video over on their channel, Defeat Your Rivals with Leagues. Now this is a feature that I'm really excited for F1 2019. So when I saw this pop up in my subscription feed, I thought the best idea would be to go through and have a bit of a live reaction and see what is what for this new trailer. I have not seen anything. It is a bit behind at the moment sadly because I had issues with shadow play, but let's jump on then into this. Obviously first of all we just got the weird little YouTube premiere thing, so we'll try to skip basically to the end of that. But yeah, really excited for Leagues on F1 2019. I want to get back into more league racing again on the whole. I think it obviously depends on where I want to take the channel on F1 2019, but yeah, really excited to try and get back into some Apex Online Racing and everything like that. But yeah, obviously if you guys don't know, I didn't really sort of start this channel. It was very much sort of league dominated way back in sort of 2016. I, sort of did quite a lot of league racing and everything like that. It was a big part of the channel. So yeah, I hope we can sort of move back towards that on F1 2019. So obviously first of all then, just got all of the cars looking incredible, I must say. We've seen some gameplay in the past. That's nothing new in this game. Once again, Cody's have outdone themselves. It does look stunning. Ferrari's in the lead. I don't know what that's all about. Get that off my screen, please. But yeah, I mean, this is just sort of a bit of an intro thing. Formula 2 as well, I'm so hyped to be getting into those cars as well. Like I mentioned in the video I made a couple of days back, I really sort of want to do a Formula 2 career mode as well. So obviously if you guys are new around here, make sure you do get yourself subscribed as well for that. There's so many plans, so many cool things I want to try with F1 2019. I want to sort of take this channel in a bit of a different direction and do a few different things with it as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy, some of the plans I've got on F1 2019 whilst we've still got all this sort of going on in the background. Didn't want to do that one. Probably wasn't the wisest decision in the world. But yeah, I don't really know sort of what to expect from this video. Whether we're going to sort of get sort of Lee Mader perhaps explaining a bit of stuff from it and everything like that. But here we go.
Hello, good afternoon, welcome. My name's Jenny Marshall. I'm the social media manager for the F1 games. And with me is Gav Cooper, Chief Game Designer on F1 2019. We've noticed a lot of your questions about leagues and how leagues work. So we're here to take a deep dive into leagues, the league systems and everything, just to show you exactly how it works.
So I don't know actually how long this video is before we sort of continue on with it. So hoping that we sort of get a bit of an in-depth look. I mean, I know personally, and from what I see on Twitter, just how important, league racing is to a lot of people. There's quite a lot of people that aren't so interested in career mode. I'd personally like to do a bit of both. But yeah, there are a lot of people that are all just about, racing in AOR and everything like that. So it's good to see these sort of implementations. I think leagues are sort of more based upon trying to find different leagues, say for example, if you live in a bit of a stranger region or you can't do like Sundays like AOR is mainly done on. Yeah, I think it's just obviously designed to try and give people a bit of flexibility and just try and connect the game's audience because, it is, I mean, with modern day, society, everything like that's not society, but like the community is a lot more universal now. I mean, sort of 2-3 years ago, back when I first got into it, I basically pretty much only knew English people, I'll be honest. It was mainly sort of that side of things. You didn't really sort of see anyone else. And I mean, with things like URC, AOR, everything like that, the whole world's been made smaller. You sort of see people, I think, a couple of the BRL Peroni or whatever his name is, and a couple of those guys from South America. You get to see, we've sort of, the Americans have always been sort of fairly close with it as well. Australia, we've obviously seen, I've commentated on AOR Oceania in the past. We've sort of seen a big rise from people, like Harry Ryan and stuff like that as well. Or New Zealand Ryan even, sorry, Harry Ryan was always the coordinator for that one.
A little bit about kind of who you are and what you do on F1.
Sure, so my name is Gav Cooper. I'm the Chief Game Designer on Formula 1 2019. That means kind of, I manage the design team essentially, and I'm kind of one of the stakeholders, one of the vision holders for all of the features that are coming into F1 2019.
Great stuff. So could you tell us what is a league?
So yeah, obviously a lot of the sort of the F1 fans are probably probably already know what leagues are, but I'm conscious that we have new players coming into the game every year, and so it's, the analogy I often use, though it might make some people wince a little bit, it's not actually unlike a guild in other games. Like a guild, you can join a league, you can create a league, you have a league owner, you can promote other members of the league to kind of like admin roles within the league. The only difference is, instead of sort of going out on a Wednesday night to raid some boss or something like that, you're going out on a Wednesday night, or whatever schedule you want, to go and compete against all the other members of the league. You're going out and you're having a competitive race.
See, I really do personally think, especially with the esports rise you've seen over the last couple of years, that leagues could be a really big, sort of future. We've sort of seen people like Tierra Limitless has done absolutely phenomenally over the last few months. I mean, he's basically been league racing focused for his entire time on YouTube, and I really do think, at the moment, hopefully we'll see a bit more of a push towards that on 2019. Career mode, I think, will always be sort of the big thing, but I think, hopefully we can see a bit more sort of league emphasis and online racing generally as well, because still at the moment, although I think the matchmaking has helped a lot, I think sadly that people still sort of struggle, and I think, online is still I wouldn't call it a meme, but it is still sort of it's a bit of a lottery still a lot of the time.
So leagues, pretty front and centre in the multiplayer menu, so you can access them from here. You can also access them from the home screen.
So you've got a few different options then. Just having a look on a bit of the side, obviously we've got the home, so you've got career mode, everything like that. Solo, obviously that'll just be sort of like a free play mode. Multiplayer, that's pretty obvious. F1 esports as well. I'm intrigued to know what's going to be on there a bit more. I think obviously it's going to be the esports challenges and everything like that. Then obviously we've got the customization for your cars, I'm going to guess, the showroom, and obviously the theatre as well is for highlights. So yeah, quite looking forward to all of the new features, and I'm a fan of the new layout.
Dynamic. If you're a member of a league and you've got an upcoming league event, this button will change, so you've got like a direct shortcut access to whatever's going on with leagues. But if we go to the sort of the main routine, okay, and this is basically your home screen for leagues, where you can access all the main features.
See, I really feel this can be implemented well with the Xbox Clubs feature. I don't know if PlayStation's got the same sort of thing. Steam, I'm sure there's easy ways around it on there as well. But yeah, this is a really, really good way. I think if they can integrate it well with Xbox Clubs, you can really sort of get a lot of people in.
People who really sort of want to buy into the fidelity of the experience. They want the damage, the spin outs. They want the long races or whatever. And then you get other people who maybe come home from work and they just want nice short 5-lap race, and they bomb it around, and they're just there to kind of have a bit of fun. And when those sort of different players kind of meet online, sometimes that can kind of lead to frustrations. And if you go on,
it's quite interesting, obviously, saying about that sort of thing. Really, at least in my experience, pretty much all the leagues I've ever raced in have been 50%. I mean, I've done sort of a couple of weird and wonderful ones as well. But I think, for most people, 50% is the way to go. But I can certainly see how some people, I think, you do get a few leagues at 25%, sort of a couple of races a night. I've never really seen sort of 5-lap league ones, but they could be quite interesting as well down the line.
Online, sort of air those frustrations, you go on Reddit or something. The first bit of advice people will give you is join a league. And that's really, really good advice. Joining a league means you get to join a group of people who all have the same kind of values. They all want to play the same way as you, and you set yourself
that is really so important. No one wants to, very few people just want to go online and have an absolute wreck fest. Leagues are definitely, it's nice to see them emphasise it a bit more, because they are, you got leagues like AOR that are just so well implemented and so well run. Yeah, I think it's nice to see we sort of get a bit more support towards it.
First thing you'll see is the list of suggested leagues.
So I'm really intrigued.
There's none in here now. Hopefully there'll be a lot more when the game comes out. But the suggested leagues list is basically just a list of good leagues to start looking at.
So hopefully then what we'll get is a bit of a filtering feature where you can filter down by the day or the percentage of the race.
It'll show you leagues that are appropriate to your geographical area. So it's going to try and encourage you to kind of play with people in the same part of the world as you, to kind of minimise sort of issues with sort of network connection, stuff like that. So they're a good place to start. If you go in, you go have a look at a few of the suggested leagues, and they're not quite doing it for you, you can also do an advanced search. You can search for a league specifically.
This is what I want to see.
So if you know the name of the league that you're after, you can put that straight in.
Cool. I really
or
like
you
this
can
sort of
search for
thing.
leagues based on a bunch of criteria. You know, the obvious.
Because I
one
mean,
is,
for me personally,
you know,
I'm
for
probably going to
yourself,
have to find leagues that
that's
start a
the
little bit
window.
later on
So,
weekdays
you know, only show me sort
for
of
F1
leagues
2019. But yeah, I love the idea of being able to
Tuesdays,
filter it down
you can
a bit
specify
more as well.
location. If you want to, you can also sort of set sort of somewhat fuzzier sort of logic as well. So you can kind of talk. You can look for leagues that do short events versus long events, realistic versus less realistic.
Yeah, so
yeah.
like as an example, I could have a race where I wanted to play with assists, and you might want to search for one that doesn't have any assists.
Exactly.
So that I guess we can tailor the search appropriately depending on what we're looking for.
Exactly right. So if we just do quick search, so that's returned a bunch of sort of leagues on our server. So if once you've got a bunch of leagues, you can actually go into a league and you can actually have a look. You can sort of have a bit of a look around at the league to decide whether it's a good fit for you. So there's a bunch of things that might factor into that. You can look at standings, for starters. You can look at all the people in that league. Obviously, these are all kind of like placeholder debug people for the moment, but these would be real
This is
players.
so cool. I'm loving
go
these new
in,
features.
And you can look at their OS profile. You can look at their super license. You can go and look at their ratings, their trophy cabinet. What
I really would love to actually try and get a super license on F1 2019. I did next to no online apart from AOR. I think I'm still like, I think I'm silver on F1 2018.
If that's
It's not good when you get into an AOR top split lobby and it's just loads of S level 50 ranked players, and I'm still like, I don't play this game very much.
Exactly. You can have a look at the calendar. If it's a scheduled league, is this one a scheduled league? No, it's not. But if it was, so if it was a scheduled league, the schedule of events would actually be visible in the calendar.
Interesting, they got scheduled maintenance every Monday.
As to, can I make that schedule work? And you can also go in. You can look at all the league settings. So you can look, these are the format settings. You can look at things like the weekend structure, race settings, and you can kind of make a call.
This is so
on,
cool.
This is the kind of gameplay experience I'm looking for. So if we back out from that, so that's kind of how you search for a league.
So how about if I want to create a league of my own?
So if you want to create a league of your own, really straightforward. We'll kind of go through this. So
let's have a little bit of look at this, and I don't think this will be something I'll ever do, but still nice to have a bit of a look. Potentially I could down the line, towards the end of the game if I'm feeling it. Something like that may have like a bit of a
Cody's live stream. Okay.
I don't know. Have a bit of a strange league. Let's go with that.
Watching me manipulate the virtual keyboard. Cody. Oh, here we go. Cody.
I was quite literally about to say that you were doing that really well.
This is so cool.
I'm just, I'm really happy that you picked a nice, short, easy one to put in. That's what makes me the most happy. Right, here we go. Cody.
This is just going to completely revolutionise the way people
there we go.
play online.
Live stream. Next thing you want to do is you want to set a region. So again, this is all to do with kind of making sure that we're grouping people together.
Especially, like I said, this is so useful for someone like me, because I most likely will be, most leagues start at 8 PM UK, 7 PM, 8 PM, potentially 9. And, realistically for me nowadays, it's most likely going to be 10 PM consistently, just through work and things like that. So, this is really ideal for someone like me. And if you're planning on set one up, hit me up in the comments below. Could be useful.
One of those. And what colours do you like?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay, so we'll have yellow.
So I think, this is all sort of just going through the medals and everything like that. So yeah, obviously you can schedule when you want the leagues to be.
We're going to play 7 PM.
Hopefully you could
Tuesdays and
like have break weeks and stuff like that. I hope. I don't know for sure though.
People that you don't know online and you can't necessarily communicate with outside of the game. It's a really good fit because everyone knows what they're meant to do.
It's so cool though.
They see the time they're meant to rock up. They join the game. Everyone's kind of happy. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is on demand. If you play an on-demand league, it gives you a lot more flexibility. In an on-demand league, the next event is always ready to go. It's always available. As long as an admin plus one other member of the league are present in the lobby.
That's pretty cool.
Kick that event off. Now, that's a really good fit for people who, groups of friends, people who can.
That's ideal, especially for.
In terms of how they want to,
I reckon most people it's sensible to set it as on demand because then you can just get everyone in. If someone's running 5 minutes late, everything like that.
You guys around tonight? Do you want to play?
I'm free now.
Yeah. Or we'll get together at 7 o'clock, and then there's always that one guy who doesn't rock up till about 7:20.
Yeah.
and yeah, it means that you can kind of manage all
ideal.
of that stuff.
Definitely.
And then finish, and then you go, do you want to do another one straight off?
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So really, really good fit. But again, it's
just about creating flexibility, isn't it? And that's the most important thing.
To each other exactly sort of how they're running the events. So we're going to make the live stream league a scheduled one.
Yep.
So we need to pick a start date. So let's set it for. So probably best not to set it straight away, because obviously you want like an amount of time to recruit people.
Yeah, and get people interested.
Exactly. So let's set it for. We'll kick it off like next Saturday. And we'll play at 8 o'clock, because we're all sad we don't go out on Saturday nights. Like that.
Seems fair. He knows the F1 audience
and
well.
You can set the recurrence. So we'll say let's play on Saturday and Friday.
That is so
we don't
cool.
go out Saturday or Friday.
I'm a big fan of that. So I think after that, you've just got a bit of scrolling through the tracks.
So it's public.
Obviously, then you just got things a bit like all that sort of settings, everything like that. I don't think
on
there's
that basis, public leagues all use
too much else to sort of go through. I'm sort of aware that this video might go on for quite a while otherwise.
If you're playing with like 90, then the AI players will be ready. What you want
So
to
I think we're all caught up.
So
now.
that means basically that if you go out on track, the AI will be there. They'll be driving around. They'll be providing an appropriate.
So we are now back live.
And within an individual event, they can score points. So if Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, he will take the 25 points, denying those 25 points to one of the human players. But when you get back to the front end, you look at the standings, they're not accruing points from race to race. It's only
That's pretty cool.
listed in there. So you're really kind of, you're competing with the AI in the event, but over the course of the championship, you're really just kind of limiting the competition between the human players.
So that means that hidden standings.
That's quite clever.
Means that no AI can win the championship.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
That's even things like cult criminals is going to be so useful
for leagues, and that's AI substitutions. So, in the event that somebody misses the event, if this setting is turned on, then they'll actually be replaced by an AI substitute. And that substitute will be skinned to look like them. They'll have the missing player's name. They'll look like the missing player in all respects, except they'll be tagged so that you know they're being controlled by an AI.
They're an AI driver and not a.
That's
the actual driver.
useful.
Yeah.
It just depends on. They should drive like you, I reckon.
Will drive on behalf of the missing player. They can even earn points on behalf of the missing player.
I'm going to have to set up an AI career mode.
And it's kind of up to you how you kind of want to balance those AI substitutes against everyone else in the race. They have a completely separate difficulty level to the normal competitors. So, for example, if you are playing in a league with all the official drivers, for example, you might want to set them to a certain level of difficulty. Maybe you want to set the AI substitutes to be a lower level of difficulty. You want the competitors to be competitive, but you want the density on the track, you want the substitutes for the missing players, but you don't necessarily want them to be in a position where they're going to be beating the AI every opportunity. Or you can flip it the other way around. You can have, keep the AI kind of not that good, so it's keeping the competition between the human players, but you want the substitutes to represent the sort of level of driving that the human players exhibit. By splitting out the difficulty between the two, you've got a kind of choice on how.
So you can kind of choose as to whether, I guess, if you wanted to make sure that having substitution meant that you didn't gain from it too much, then you can set that differently to normal AI.
And of course you can disable substitutes entirely as well.
There's just so much flexibility.
So there we go. There's other options as well, governing sort of spectators, who can actually do invites.
I can see one down there, and that's league owner competes.
Yes.
Can you tell us about what that is?
Yeah, sure. So obviously the person who creates the league.
I hope you can implement penalties, like you can do after race stewarding and stuff like that.
Within the league, you have.
I might have accidentally flicked over that going through this, but I really do hope that's a feature.
Sort of league owner and transfer ownership of the league to somebody else. But when you create the league, you have a choice. You can decide whether you want to compete or not. Now, a lot of people, when they create leagues, are going to be creating the league because that's what they want to play. So obviously, they're going to want to compete in it. Other people might want to set up lots of leagues. They might want to set up a main league and then a number of feeder leagues, for example, and they kind of want to administrate the whole setup, but they don't necessarily want to compete in every single league that they set up. So in that case, what you can do is you can set this to no. I don't want to compete. And you will still be the league owner. You'll still have all the privileges of the league owner. You can still join the events as a spectator if you wish, but
That's just so
to.
useful. I feel like all this video is just me saying
and
that's
it
so
kind of frees
useful.
up your competitor slot for other people, so you can invite a full other 20 people in.
Yeah, it's just that you don't have to take. There's no pressure for you to take part if you don't want to.
No, you're just there to run it basically. So that's totally fine as well. And kind of beyond that, I mean, I guess the other thing is maximum competitors. Some leagues I know kind of like prefer to have more spectator slots, so they can do things like broadcasts. They can have people watching for fair play and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So if you want to increase the number of spectators, you can limit the number of the maximum number of competitors.
Yeah.
It's a shame you can't get sort of like 30 player
connections.
Spectate. Well,
But
like
beyond that,
30 player
really,
lobbies
it's all
with
the kind of stuff that you're
10
already
spectators or
familiar
something.
with the rest of the game. You can set the weekend structure.
Have managers and stuff. I've seen a couple of leagues try to do. Not too sure how that works out.
Qualifying. You can have different lengths of race. You can edit all the race.
I think this sort of stuff is pretty standard.
All of this stuff is kind of familiar, well understood, and governs the kind of experience that you're going to have in the race.
Are these editable? So if I were to create a league, but then actually decide that actually I can't do 100% race anymore. So say I'd set it at 100% for everything, and then suddenly all of us realised that 100% wasn't for us, and we wanted to move it down. Is that possible?
It is possible. So let's create this league, and then we'll talk about that because that is all to do with league voting. So
there we go. There you go. There's our league.
This is our league. This is the summary screen for our league. This is the
There we go.
hub
I'm going to get
for
myself
all
in.
the stuff that you might want to do with this league. And in a second, I'll go through all of these sort of different screens. But just talking about the voting specifically, so the thing we've got to kind of consider with running a league is that not every player is necessarily scrupulous if they set up a league.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of the possibility for griefing, and we want to make sure that people don't have their time wasted by people. So a good example of this is let's say somebody sets up a league, and they they put the description as all skill levels welcome, all assists allowed, great for beginners, and then once people come into the league, they change.
No, Cody's. I was listening. I was learning. They clearly don't want us to know about griefers, I guess. I don't know. Cody's? Hello? Plus? Oh no.
And they set they put the description as all skill levels welcome, all assists allowed, great for beginners, and then once people come into the league, they change. The league owner, they're the only one who can.
No, I think we're okay. No, damn it! I think that might be that unfortunately over then. That's a little bit of an issue. I'll be honest. Other people in chat seem to be having the same issue, but look at that fair play, Cody's 1,500 viewers. That's not bad going. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I think they sort of said most of what needed to be said for this one as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Make sure you get yourself subscribed if you are hyped for F1 2019, and I will see you guys in the next one.